What's up, guys? This is Sammy Miller, the athletic director, and Coach Dayne Brown of the Magoffin County Hornets 2004 season. And they're talking sports. They're talking about getting into the playoffs this year. We had a shot at it. Of course, that fell through. There was some kind of gems in here. Let me just tell you. I had to edit the audio. The videotape is poorly recorded. I've done some editing to the video, trying to make it a little bit more livelier, but that's about all I could get. So here it is, the Dayne Brown Show, talking sports with Sammy Miller. Enjoy.
Sports, and with me is Magoffin County head football coach Dayne Brown. And coach, a little bit better spirits than last time we were together.
Well, certainly because we got an opportunity to win and we're in, and it's the first time we've had this feeling here since, was it 95, 96?
95, back when Coach Cabin, Coach Mason Smith, and all that crew. And we went all the way to Ryle and
Froze to death.
We're going to look at some video of the East Ridge game, but first I thought it'd be a good opportunity, because we're not going to have many more chances to have shows on, to talk about some people behind the scenes, and specifically your assistant coaches, and I thought you might want to make some comments on each of them.
We have Grayson Smith as our offensive coordinator, and does a great job for us calling the offense. He's no longer teaching in our school system. He works for Governor Fletcher, which makes the job he's been able to do more impressive, because his schedule is so hectic and so full. Also, a couple guys have been with me for a long time. Neil Howard, who works with running backs and defensive backs, a very loyal friend, and established a good rapport with the players, and they're all.
I guess you've been with Neil since high school.
Yeah, well, I mean, we played together and been best friends all our lives, and so a good addition to our staff. Also, Matt Allen, who I worked with as a player when I was an assistant under Caba, has come along, works with our defensive ends and receivers, and does a great job as well. So, nice, well-rounded staff. Most important thing is we all get along and all have good loyalty to one another. And whenever you're trying to build a staff, that's the most important thing you have to start with. And of course, we'd like to add a few more people onto our staff, especially to work with elementary programs, middle school program, right, JV, and so forth. But those guys, I just can't say enough about the job they do.
You don't want to forget your director of football operations.
Justin Brown, I'll tell you, we give Justin a hard time, and
Scar.
I don't know if we have.
That's what we're calling him up here this week.
I don't know
Scar.
if we have any footage of the shot he took against East Ridge. I wish we did, but he does as much or more for our program and to help us have some success as anybody that's a part of it, and means a lot to us, and just gets a lot of work done, and he's going to be missed.
Yeah, well, there's no question about that. Also, you've got some other people that behind the scenes, your timekeeper, for example, or the running of the chains. Paul Bailey's done that all year long. He injured his knee, and he was unable to do it Friday night, and I thought we were going to have to forfeit the game. I couldn't find anybody.
Well, you have people like that who do the little things that go unnoticed by everybody, including myself and the staff sometimes, but it'd be hard to get through hard to get through a game without some of those guys, especially, you can talk about parents who feed the boys before the games, or the churches that come in, and different organizations that help us out. Like you said, the chain crew, just mean more to us than we can say. And of course, you have Tommy Howard, runs the clock for us. And, when you're in that press box running the clock, nobody knows who's in there doing it, and Tommy does a great job.
You got a little flack the other night. The fog set in on him.
Well, I'm sure he couldn't see what was going on in the field. I couldn't tell what was going on out there, but never, those people never get enough thanks, enough appreciation.
You got Greg Hilton does a great job on your videos.
Oh, he does great. People see highlights here on the show, and he just does a fantastic job, and I think he enjoys it very much, and it's evident in the job he does.
And then you've got your football boosters, and of course your coaches' wives. They do a great job for you.
Well, the life of a coach's wife is tough. It doesn't matter what sport it is. The time you have to put in. Our wives and our families, my child Anna, and they all pitch in and get things like that done for us. But it wouldn't be fun if you didn't try to make it a family event on Friday nights. And
That's the key to it, isn't it?
that's the key to building a good program.
And then there's Pete Shepard.
Pete pretty much does whatever needs to be done.
Exactly.
And we never can thank him enough. We had the boys Sunday after our big district win against East Ridge, and he was right there manning the grill and cooking those steaks. And I don't even think he got to eat, but you know, he does all those things.
Takes up for you on Bluegrass Preps too.
Takes up for me on Bluegrass Preps when they're cutting my throat on there. But, you know, he's a big supporter for our boosters as well with Mingo. Can't really thank him enough.
So it goes without saying that you appreciate all the people.
Oh, no question. And then, you know, there's a dozen people that we haven't mentioned. You know, Patty Howard and Jody Marshall, all those people. Can't name them all because we don't have enough time, but they all should know that they're appreciated.
No question about it. When we return, we're going to look at some action from the East Ridge game, and we'll be right back here on We're Talking Sports on MCS TV. Coach, big victory over East Ridge, no question about it. You needed that district win, and you got it. It was a tough battle, but we pulled it out.
Well, we didn't play perfect. You know, I told our kids after the game we didn't play perfect, but we played hard. And a lot of times, if your kids will give you that great effort, good things happen. So
we got some video from that game, and we'll get some comments from you. You shoot yourself in the foot right off the bat here.
Yeah, it's tough to have turnovers like this. Even tougher to have a turnover in the first play of the game, and so gave them a good opportunity here at the beginning.
And they take advantage of it. We're going to be talking a whole lot about their quarterback before this is over. He's a special athlete, isn't he?
You know, Deese is a great athlete. And, you know, there's some good players on that team, and I think he's one of the best players in our district.
This East Ridge team came in there. They seem to be well coached.
Well, they've got, you know, they're playing a lot of young people at certain positions. Of course, they do have some good seniors as well, but they've had a tough season, but they've been competitive in all their games.
I thought when you look back in hindsight, our ability to keep them from scoring a lot on conversions really was the outcome of the game.
It sure was. You know, we could have allowed them a conversion here or there, and they easily got beat.
Well, we'll try the kickoff again, see if we can do a little bit better. Not too bad a return there.
Well, what our people have to realize is teams are going to kick away from Shepard and Marshall, and other people have to be ready to take care of the football.
Yeah, and here's Brandon Marshall, probably had the best game of his career.
And this is Brandon Shepard on this carry, and he did a great job. One of the best performances I've seen here in a long time.
And here's the other half of the dynamic duo, Brad Marshall. I've got my Brandons and Brads mixed up.
Yeah, we wanted to establish the run. We felt like we were as good or better than them up front, and so nice job here on this first drive.
What were you running there? Just off tackle, or were you running some traps, or?
Well, when we get in the shotgun, a lot of people expect us to throw, so we just passing formation, and that was just a lead draw that we had.
They tied it up at 6. I thought overall it was the best effort I've seen from a Magoffin County Special Teams unit in a long time.
Well, I think it goes to show we have a lot of young people playing football, and our young kids are getting a lot better. Here you can see again, East Ridge has some good athletes and did a poor job of tackling, but
this kid gets overlooked. He's a pretty good football player in his own right.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good player. Here you see they try to run a trap and we force a turnover, which we needed to do because we turned the ball over ourselves a bunch.
Yeah, it was a comedy of errors at times.
Tracy Adams Smith doing a good job. I have no idea what East Ridge is doing on this play, trying to pitch the ball back. I don't know if it was a trick play or what, but
trying to make something out of nothing, and here's a big play.
We knew we could get a block on them, and then we teach our kids to scoop and score, and so when we can score touchdowns on defense or special teams, we know we have a good chance to win.
Brandon Johnny on the spot there takes it into the end zone, gives us the early lead, and a big 2-point conversion.
2-point conversions are you're in those tight ball games. It's been key.
Great footwork by Brad Marshall on the standing bounds on that.
Right, and they're, we see we go for the onside kick. Hindsight, it was a mistake, but we wanted to put some pressure on them early, and get caught in a misalignment, and they make us pay for it.
And pay for it right away, don't they? They come right back. It was a great football game to watch, I'll say that.
It was. I thought East Ridge competed hard. Again, you see the athleticism by Deese.
He is a senior, right?
He's a senior, thank goodness. Again, we
Yeah.
didn't do everything perfect, but you don't want to take anything away from him. He did a nice job.
I agree with that. Amen. Is this Gibson?
Yes, it's Anthony Gibson.
He's improving every game, isn't he?
He's going to be a great ball player. Got to get him in the weight room. You can see our slip screens that we run. Try to get the ball to an athlete, let him make a play. Then Marshall on the reverse. Lum do a good job getting outside. I'd like to see him pick somebody up when they get out there next time.
We have a little more success with that as the game progresses. No, I thought Robert Bailey played one of his better ball games, and a lot of times he's overlooked.
He was very smart with the football Friday night, and anytime your quarterback can just do a good job and get the ball to different people, so we spread the ball around. I thought he did a nice job.
Well, when Brad Marshall gets in the secondary, it's a man amongst boys, isn't it?
I think his vision is a lot better once he gets downfield.
But they come right back. It was nip and tuck all night.
It was. Again, number 35, I can't remember his name, but he's a nice ball player. And they get in on the quarterback sneak.
That gives them and they kick the extra point here, don't they?
So, had the lead at halftime. Of course, turnovers really killed us in the first half and throughout the game, to be honest.
Here's Brad. Looks like he's going to break it. Another good effort. What kind of yardage did he and Brandon compile?
Combined rush for over 300 yards.
My goodness, great game. Here's a big play. We may have not been able to pull this one out had that not occurred.
No, that was a big play for us. A good job by Dayne Brown and John Howard.
Got some unsung heroes inside there that stepped up, didn't they?
There's Curtis Bradley doing a good job.
You don't get anything out of this, but just getting out of the shadow of our own goalpost meant a lot. Is Curtis back to full strength now?
Yes, Curtis is doing great for us right now. And field position is a big key in any football game.
I thought the officials did a pretty decent job. I heard a lot of criticism, but...
Well, I'll tell you one thing I've learned is, again, there's turnovers kill you.
Probably the only mistake Brandon made on that.
Anytime you beat a team that expects to beat you pretty easily, you're going to get people criticizing officials, but I thought they did a nice job.
Well, when we return, we're going to look at some second half action, and we will be right back here on it. We're talking sports. Of course, my guest is Magoffin County head football coach Dayne Brown. And Coach, we looked at some video from the first half, and you went in to the locker room trailing 21-14. What do you say to the kids?
Well, at this point, the first time we got a chance for playoffs in, what do we say, 9 years? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
You don't have to say a lot. I think the main thing was we needed to focus on cutting down on turnovers and mistakes. We knew our kids were going to play hard. I thought they played pretty hard in the first half. We just let them know, play this game like it's your last, because it was our last home game. It was senior night. It meant a lot to those.
You just talked to them in a fatherly fashion.
Sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I understand.
And, we
I think you realize, though, I think maybe the kids realized going in at halftime that they knew they were capable of winning that football game.
Sure. And they know they have a great opportunity to do something that only one other team in our school's history has ever been able to do. So it means a lot to us, to me, to our boys, but it means a lot to our community and our school.
No question about it. As we return to the second half, we're trailing 21-14. And here's the big play by Brad early on.
Again, Shep was our guy that did a good job, was consistent all night. Bradley was our big play man. Anytime you have two backs in the backfield, people have a hard time keying on both.
That's exactly right, and we're right back in the ball game. In fact, we take the lead 22-21.
Now, at this point, I think we do a good job here getting on the ball. But it looks like we're going to take control of the ball game. At this point, things just start getting kind of crazy, to be honest with you.
It's chaos from now on. Do you see that late hit?
Yeah.
Coming in from the top there?
We were cheap shotting people.
Yeah.
Only late hits I saw cheap shots were from them. Here you see a screen pass. If we would have done a better job blocking, we would have got in the end zone.
You set it up nicely, though. We just didn't execute at the end.
I thought it was a nice call by Coach Smith.
I thought, of course, when the kids executed, it makes an offensive coordinator look better, but I thought he called an excellent football game.
Sure.
And did we get that one in the end zone?
I think we punched it in right here on the
Yep.
outside. Now, like I said, it looks like we're going to take control, but combined with our mistakes and Eastridge's big playability, they pretty much did the same thing they've done all year, and that's spot people big leads and then come back and do it. I thought that was a great individual effort by Sheldon.
It's one of the best plays. I was telling Courtney Conley earlier this afternoon that I thought it was one of the best plays I've seen in a long time. His ability to keep that left knee off the ground really was important. But that gives us a 9-point lead. The thing I noticed as the game progressed is our special teams. Now watch us get down the field and pop somebody. We are interested. We're fired up. I've not seen that enthusiasm that much.
It makes a big difference when people have something to play for. I've said that all along, and here you can see to force another turnover, and good job by John Howard getting the football.
Senior Jonathan Herron comes out there with it.
Everybody's excited. It's great to play football when you got something to play for, man, I tell you. I haven't had this feeling in a long time.
Makes all the difference. Pretty emotional in the locker room, I suspect.
Yeah, it was, especially at halftime.
And then Shep does what he does best, just rams it up the middle.
Thought our offensive line did a much better job. Here you can see Bradley again, another big play. Good job by people downfield. And
there was criticism with Brad Warman earlier on a sweep like that when he didn't execute, and that time he pushed his man all the way into the end zone.
I thought he did a great job.
Did a great job. And we got some fireworks. Time to get excited. And courtesy of Carter Conley and all the rescue squad, Rip Mortimer and all the gang.
We appreciate those guys and everything they do. They do so much for our program.
And just a great individual effort by Mr. Marshall.
Now, like I said, at this point, it's beginning to look like we're going to coast. Make some mistakes. Or another good play by our special teams.
Right down there on it.
Dan Russell did a great job.
Big call here. Was that a good call?
Well, I thought it was a good call. Anytime your defender doesn't make an attempt to look back for the ball, they're going to call that. And, you know, for the most part, officials have been pretty consistent with that this year.
Now, I thought late in the game, their quarterback wasn't as much interested in advancing the football as he was showing how he could elude tacklers. He wasn't looking for open passes or anything. He was just looking to run the ball, and I thought it played into our hands eventually.
Well, he does such a good job eluding people. You can see here again how elusive he is. We wanted to just try to make them use the clock. You know, that's why we kind of covered everybody.
Exactly.
But I'll tell you what, they scored 3 times in about, 2.5, 3 minutes.
Yeah, they put some points on the board in a hurry. There's no question about it.
And that was just a pitiful job of tackling. We all knew it.
And now we see the fog.
You can see how he just, tell you what, smart play on his part because he knows that's a dead ball. He can do
Exactly.
So he's got some football sense, and
And here comes Shep.
Another great run and great job by our offensive line. You can see he covered the ball up well that time.
And we're up 17 points, and things are looking good. And, of course, it gets closer at the end, but the fog set in. The video was supported that that's the only highlights we had. When we return, we're going to look at some scores from last week. We're going to look at some upcoming games, and we're going to look at some district standings right here on We're Talking Sports on MCSTV. Hey, we're back on We're Talking Sports. My guest, of course, is Magoffin County head football coach Dayne Brown. And, Coach, we talked about the big win. We want to look at some other scores from last week. You got, Sheldon Clark. It's been from feast to famine, hasn't it? They get beaten 2 overtimes over there. Did that surprise you?
It didn't surprise me. I thought that'd be a competitive game. You know, the thing about it is they're one win, and they've literally been competitive in every ball game.
That's several overtimes, weren't they?
It's pretty good football team.
I put Breathitt County in there because evidently they're a beast this year, aren't they?
Well, they do so many things so well. You know, the Hunley kid playing quarterback for them does a nice job, and those great receivers. Kind of like watching a Florida play back in the Spurrier days.
No question about it. I also put Fleming County and Morgan County because they're close here. And Morgan County's had a pretty good season, but they run into a buzzsaw at Fleming County, didn't they?
Yes, they did. I think Morgan County's new coaching staff is doing a great job this year.
And Johnson Central, Matt Nees, got them playing pretty good football, doesn't he?
I think considering the injuries they've had in the last couple of weeks, they're doing a great job.
Of course, the big win we got over Eastridge, and then poor old Allen Central had to play Prestonburg, and I don't wish that on anyone. They could be right in that regional hunt, couldn't they?
Allen Central has a nice ball club, have some good young players. I don't look forward to playing them again next year.
No question about it. This was a surprise to me. I know you were talking to Donnie Daniels today, and he has to be pleased. Paintsville's fell on hard times recently, haven't they?
Well, you know, South Floyd, not to take anything away from South Floyd. South Floyd's 8-2, best record in the school's history in football, and they're tickled together. They're going to be hosting playoffs until they're beaten out. So looks like they're going to be playing Lynn Camp in the opening round.
Couldn't happen to a better guy either. Donnie's a great guy. And I don't know, these scores obviously aren't correct. Did Prestonburg beat Shelby Valley, or did Prestonburg beat Allen Central?
Prestonburg beat Shelby Valley 62-12. I think Allen Central score. I think they actually played Pikeville Friday.
That was probably Pikeville, so that's a legitimate mistake. But Prestonburg run over top of Shelby Valley. So let's take a look at some upcoming games. We've got Belfry versus Shelby Valley mismatch.
Well, I think it's a little bit of a mismatch. I find it odd that all the Shelby Valley people are saying they don't think it's fair. If we win, we're going to be in the playoffs and they're going to be out. When they still have a district game that they need to get ready for, I think they're sending a bad message to their kids by saying that.
No question about that. I put Breathitt County in there. They'll destroy Knott County Central. I don't think there's any question about that.
Knott County Central was doing a good job early, and they've fallen on hard times. I think mostly due to lack of discipline on their staff.
East Carter versus Morgan County. Morgan County get a win there, can't they?
It's going to be a tight ball game. I look for Morgan County. A lot of that's going to depend on where the game was played, but look for Morgan County to give East Carter all they want, maybe more.
Prestonburg, pretty easy winner over Eastridge.
I think, if Eastridge would come out and play to win, these could possibly have some big plays for them, but I don't think they will. I think they'll try to sit on the ball and Prestonburg in a big one.
Yeah, they'd have to throw caution to the wind. That'd be their only hope, wouldn't it? Johnson Central, Madison Central.
That's going to be a tough one. I think I could be wrong, but considering the injuries Central's had, I'm going to have to go with Madison Central on that one.
How about Paintsville and Pikeville? Always a great matchup.
It's a good little rivalry, so anything can happen, but I look for Pikeville to take care of Paintsville.
You talk about a tough game to call, at least in my opinion, Pike County Central and Betsy Lane.
Well, I'll tell you what, Betsy Lane has some nice talent.
They sure do.
They don't have a bad little ball club. Surprised a lot of people. But I'm going to go with Pike County Central in this one.
And then, of course, we're going to be at Sheldon Clark, and we're going to talk about that more in a minute. And now we've got our district standings, and I hope those are accurate because the KHSAA webpage has not been updated, and I hope I got it right. But we're in Class 2A, the Semi-2s, Region 4, and District 8, of course, Belfry's at the top of things, and then Prestonburg. And then things get a little confusing if those are accurate. Shelby Valley already has 3 district wins?
Shelby Valley's 3-2 in the district, and to be realistic, they're not going to get another one. They play Belfry Friday night.
Right.
Would be probably the biggest upset in football history. Not saying it can't happen, but it's probably not going to. Which leads us to Pike Central. Pike Central's 3-3 in district play. They don't have another district game. They play Betsy Lane. So Shelby Valley's going to end up 3-3. Pike Central's going to end up 3-3 in the district. And if we beat Sheldon Clark, we'll be 3-3 in the district, which puts us in a 3-way tie.
Okay.
And which means it goes to the point standings in that.
Now that's where it gets confusing.
That's where it gets confusing. If that happens, what they do is, Sam, they take your strength of schedule by saying for every win you have non-district, you get a point for each team that you're, for every person we've beaten, we get a point for every team they beat.
Oh, okay.
So we beat Allen Central, that gives us 4 points because they have 4 wins.
Oh, really?
So how it would end up would be Pike County Central, of course, beat South Floyd with 8 wins. That put them in the 3rd spot. Assuming we could beat Sheldon Clark, which is going to be a tough game, but if we beat Sheldon Clark, gives us 3 district wins, we would get the 4th playoff spot based on point system because of our 4 points given to us by Allen Central. Shelby Valley's 2 non-district wins have come against Whitesburg, 2 wins, and Pineville, 0 wins.
Okay.
So those 2 schools still have 2 games left, but Whitesburg plays Kaywood, maybe a game they can win, but Pineville plays Lynn Camp, very unlikely win from them.
So they'd have to, those 2 teams have to win for them to have 4 points.
Right.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is there still is a possibility, a slight possibility, that we could beat Sheldon Clark and not make the playoffs, but very unlikely.
So I guess everybody out there understands that now, and I'm more confused than I was before. But Coach, you play Sheldon Clark Friday night. What's it take to beat him?
Well, the thing we need to focus on right now is that we need to beat Sheldon Clark. We can talk about the scenarios and all the other stuff. I know I've confused you more before, but
you weren't even sure of it either.
The bottom line is if we beat Sheldon Clark, unless something crazy happens, we're going to go to Breathitt County and
oh boy,
and be in the playoffs for the first time since 1995, which is a big honor for our program.
No question about
it. A big
it.
step for our program, especially after what we've been through here. So we're going to do everything in our power to do that. Sheldon Clark is a good football team. There's no question about that. They don't have a great record. They're going through a coaching change. They've lost some kids due to injury. But they're a good football program nonetheless. Program we've never beaten in the history of our school.
Right.
Even back in the Kayla and Grayson Smith days.
Exactly.
So they're very big and they do some things that can hurt us really easily. So we're going to have to play our best football to beat them.
Are we going to be pretty healthy?
We're going to be pretty healthy. We have a couple people banged up. Hopefully by Friday night we'll be ready to go. Trying to keep them loose and stretched out and keeping them moving around in practice a little bit. But, at this point in the season, with what all we have on the line, unless it's just a bad injury, if they're banged up, they have to go.
It's time to go.
The doctors say they can play, they have to play. So
no question about it.
Time to toughen up and get after it.
Well, Coach, we wish you all the luck in the world, and we're encouraging everybody out there to travel to Sheldon Clark Friday night and support the Magoffin County Hornets as they try to get back in district competition, and it'd be a great opportunity for them. So, Coach, good luck. And from Coach Brown, this is Sam Miller for We're Talking Sports saying good night right here on MCSTV.